Welcome into Jungle Tales, a Pirate Baseball podcast. We appreciate everyone tuning in whenever and however you're watching or listening, whether it's right now live on YouTube and Facebook or archived on either of those platforms or Spotify. East Carolina has been busy bringing in arms from the transfer portal, the likes of Thomas Paxton, Joseph Webb, Gavin Marley, Frank Ciccone, and Gavin Van Kempen, most recently out of West Virginia. Today, as you see there on the screen, we are joined by the Friday night starter for the St. Joe's Hawks for 2025, and that is Frank Ciccone. Frank, we appreciate your time today. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. Very excited about you making that decision to join East Carolina baseball and part of the 2026 roster. Before we discuss, how it got to that point and how you became a Pirate, take us back. I know you're a New Jersey kid. Tell us about your recruitment and, how you wound up at St. Joe's.
Starting freshman year, I was just young. Body wasn't built up, so I didn't really have any interest my freshman year at all. Sophomore year of high school, started getting bigger and stuff. Then it was the COVID time, so it was definitely harder to get some recruitment. So a little started coming in just from going to some tournaments. Going into my junior year, grew a couple inches, gained 20, 30 pounds, started kind of figuring how to actually pitch, use my body and all that stuff. So I was in a really good spot. I was just going to tournaments and stuff, playing summer ball. We go to some events too and pitch in front of schools. Got a couple offers in the start, and then actually towards the end of my junior year in July over the summer, I went to a PBR event to go throw in right nearby my house. Did really well there, PR'd there too at the time. Just I struck almost everyone out, so I looked really, really good at the time. And St. Joe's ended up reaching out, started going on visits right after that. I'm at a couple schools, and then about probably late July, I would say, went up there, and then it kind of just felt right. The whole staff and everything, the school is pretty close to home, so I ended up committing there, and then the year after that, I was at St. Joe's.
In addition to St. Joe's, what other programs did you consider that you just referenced?
It was local schools, Seton Hall, some schools like Albany, schools like that. It wasn't anything too big. Schools like Marist. It was just that COVID time too, so it was already hard trying to get recruited in the first place with everyone with their short rosters and stuff. So it was mostly local schools.
Yeah, Marist is a program and definitely has some good baseball tradition down through the years. But your time at St. Joe's, your first 2 years, I think you logged 18 appearances, somewhere 30 to 35 innings, but you made a really big jump from your sophomore year to your junior season this year. You were the Friday night starter for the Hawks and logged 74 and two-thirds innings. Tell us about your transformation in making such a significant jump from your sophomore to junior seasons.
Yeah, so my freshman year, we had a big staff, older team. We had about 24 pitchers on the staff, so already trying to pitch in that as a freshman was tough in the first place. Kind of went up and down, just was trying to fix pitches during the season and didn't really have a feel for a lot. So it was tough trying to pitch in the first place, and then lost confidence and stuff like that all kind of throughout the whole season. But tried to work through it. And then ended up going to summer ball, pitched a lot, kind of got more comfortable, figured out pitches and stuff. And then my sophomore year, kind of just got my body right, got more mobile, started throwing harder, I added 2 more pitches. So I was in a really good spot. Our 3 weekend guys we had returned from the year before, and I was looking at a spot to be long relief or maybe a midweek starter or maybe a potential weekend starter at the time. We had a really good staff. Our Friday guy ended up going to Ole Miss. Our Saturday guy is that just finished up at Penn State. And then our Sunday guys playing indie ball. So we had a really good weekend staff. And I was in the mix for that. And then once the season started, I was in a really good spot, and I ended up getting hurt. My sophomore year ended up with a flexor strain about 2 weeks before the season started, and I didn't touch the mound for almost 2 months, 2.5 months. I came back the first week of conference play. Obviously, didn't really have a full recovery. Kind of just straight up rush back, but tried to do it. Like good, but yeah, I mean, it came back, and then I didn't really feel healthy, and just the recovery process wasn't going well, so I wasn't able to pitch very much. So yeah, I mean, I would throw very occasionally, and I mean, I only ended up throwing about 10 innings my sophomore year, just with all that going on, and then with summer ball threw good. Arm pain started going away, and then went into my junior year. We lost a lot of the guys on our team, a lot of grads, seniors, a couple transfers, stuff like that. So, I mean, based off the year before and what the coaches had planned for me, I was in a good spot. I thought I had a chance to start too. So, I mean, velo just kept increasing. Just was moving better from overall standpoint, more mobile, everything like that. So, my body is in a really good spot. I just need to get work on the mound. Over the fall, threw about 20 innings, did really good, and then went over winter break, and then I something happened to me. I don't know what. Um, I just hit like another gear, and everything was better, off speed, velo, moving wise, everything, and then we ended up losing our pitching coach in January. He went to the Orioles minor league team, and then yeah, went into the season, and then honestly just went out there. I mean, I didn't really have anything to lose. Ended up getting the Friday spot too, which was awesome. But I mean, honestly, it was just competing and put myself in a really good spot and won the job for Friday, and then ended up getting the spot, and then just went out there and just tried to be a dog every weekend as much as I could.
I believe that first start, if I'm remembering correctly, came against the national runner-up, Coastal Carolina
Yep,
Chanticleers.
yep, Coastal. Yeah, that was my first start in college. Really, yeah, that was my first weekend start in college.
What are your memories of that one?
Honestly, I thought when I was going out there, I mean, they're obviously a very good program. I was really have been since they won that national championship about 10 years ago. Um, but yeah, I mean, just going out there, I mean, I thought I was going to be really nervous, but I wasn't at all. It's probably the most calm I've ever been in college. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool experience. I mean, that was my first college start. They're obviously a great team, and also they have a couple guys from Jersey on their team too, so kind of just knew them growing up. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was a cool experience. I mean, it was my first college start realistically on the weekend. And then, I mean, just try to go out there and have fun as much as I could. It was our first time going outside as well, when we went to Coastal. So it was a pretty, different experience all around. But, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. It was really cool. So, definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I believe you went right around 4 innings, and you did some good things on the mound that day against the Chanticleers, and what a run they had. 26 consecutive wins. Unfortunately, came up just a little bit shy of their second national championship, and I say that as Pirate fans, we like to pull for those teams that aren't as much in the spotlight, as solid of as a program as Coastal Carolina is. Definitely like to see those teams not in the SEC be successful. But that ballpark down there, Springsbrook Stadium, really really nice, and it was a nice setup for the regional.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, the place is cool. I mean, the whole area. I mean, the fans are pretty crazy opening weekend, but yeah, I mean, the whole setup was pretty awesome there. I mean, it's probably one of the coolest stadiums I've ever been in.
Speaking of awesome setups and excellent ballparks, Clark LeClaire Stadium. Um, Tell us about your visit. I know you visited about a week and a half ago now, back on Thursday, June the 12th. Um, and before you tell us, your thoughts on the stadium and the facilities you saw, just how did East Carolina come into the mix?
Yeah, so I mean, I entered the portal I think June 4th it was. I think maybe that day or the day after. They reached out. And yeah, I mean, obviously, very good program. Always have been. I mean, playing in regionals pretty much every year. Um, but yeah, I mean, they reached out, kind of just got in contact with them, started talking on the phone, and then, I mean, they were the one school pretty much that I would say reached out the most from all coaches. Um, so it made me feel very good. I mean, especially that a program like that was reaching out to me and showed that they wanted me compared to some other schools. Um, so yeah, I mean, they just reached out and then kind of just went talking and stuff, and then ended up going on a visit on I think the 12th of yeah, so the 12th, and then went up there, and then I mean, I thought it was sick walking up there. I mean, I'm from Jersey, so you don't really go down to North Carolina or that area really much, but yeah, I mean, went there. I thought it was sick. I mean, the whole stadium, the whole setup. I mean, I remember watching them play Wake Forest at home in a regional, and seeing all the fans and the entire place absolutely packed. So I mean, I knew that place was pretty electric. So I mean, I was the whole setup, the coaches and everything, just being a great program. I mean, that really sparked my interest. So yeah, I mean, kind of just kept talking from there. And then I mean, started going on, and then just all ended up working out.
Yeah, that Wake Forest game that you mentioned, Trey Savage, first round pick of the Blue Jays, and already has risen to Double A up in New Hampshire, pitching for the Fisher Cats, and then Chase Burns of the Cincinnati Reds. That was a heck of a day at Clark LeClaire, and some dramatic, moments in that ball game. Exactly what you would have expected going in, and that one was a lot of fun. But you mentioned developing a relationship with the coaching staff very quickly over a 2 week span. One of the things that's really big, you hear it from most every program, but with some programs, it's probably more lip service. With East Carolina, it's not from the standpoint of the culture. And, Coach Godwin, really likes to know exactly what he's getting from the transfer portal when he goes that route. So whether it's conversations with Coach Godwin or Jeff Palumbo or Austin Knight, give us the Cliff Notes version of that relationship you were able to develop over the last few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they were easy to talk to. I mean, just hanging out with them over a visit as well. Um, it just like felt right. You want to be honest, just hanging. Coach Knight's obviously young too. I mean, that's who you're gonna be working with most of the time. I also just feel like it's easier when someone's younger. They kind of know what you think and stuff. I feel like it's an easier relationship. But yeah, I mean, over the past couple of weeks, I mean, they were reaching out to me every day, almost, if not, yeah, pretty much every day. Just talking. I mean, they just call me, just ask what's up, what I'm doing. So I mean, it was really good because most schools didn't do that, and they did it, and it was awesome. I mean, awesome to talk to. I mean, I felt like I had a really good relationship, got really close with them just over the phone, especially in person as well. So yeah, I mean, just kind of over the past couple weeks that I was in the portal, just them reaching out and us talking, felt like I just built a really good relationship with them. And I mean, they were awesome. They were cool. They were straight up. Um, like you said, a lot of schools do the lip service and stuff like that, but you could tell they weren't making stuff up or lying or any of that, and they were straight up. So them being real, just being cool, and just being awesome people and stuff, and just kind of talking over the phone and just getting to know them more and more every day. Just built a really good relationship with me and them. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
You've mentioned the team success that East Carolina's had throughout the Cliff Godwin years, having been in a regional every year but one, and having been in a regional championship in 7 consecutive years, and the super regionals, of course, several of those seasons as well. But you know. With that success, obviously ECU's been very good on the mound. I mentioned Trey Savage. You also had Gavin Williams pitching for the Cleveland Guardians, and then the likes of Carson Wisenhunt, who was a second round draft pick and in AAA now for the San Francisco Giants out in Sacramento. With all the success ECU's had on the mound, How did that weigh into your decision?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, over the past couple of years, especially, I mean, being at my old school, we never got the chance to go to a regional. So a school reaching out to me that's pretty much in a regional every year. I mean, that already sparked my interest. But yeah, I mean, just them winning and being a program. I mean, I would be at home watching them on TV, playing and being on Power Four schools, pretty easily and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, and then also obviously seeing guys getting drafted out of there. And even guys who transferred. I mean, the kids that went to bigger schools. I mean, they're all at the school because of what they did at ECU and with the whole culture and Coach Knight developing them and stuff. So seeing kids play for bigger schools and kids getting drafted out of there, um, I mean that really made me be really interested in ECU. I mean, because that just shows what they do there. They produce draft picks and obviously kids that I think the kid Root, he was at ECU, I believe.
Yep,
He's
yep.
pitching.
Zach Root.
Yeah, he's pitching for Arkansas in the college World Series and stuff like that. But I mean, if ECU was the one who really developed him in the first place, so seeing kids do like that, and he's throwing 99 from the left side, and then you see Savage and guys like that in the minors shoving, and guys in pros and stuff like that, and just absolutely dominating. I mean that really just made me appreciate and really put notice into ECU because the whole staff, and it just shows what they do there. So for me, I mean, it was kind of a no brainer.
Yeah, I think a guy like a Trey Savage electing to stay when he had six-figure offers to go elsewhere, that speaks volumes. You mentioned Zach Root going to Arkansas. Definitely, don't wish anything, bad on anyone. Each person has to do what they feels in their best interest, and I'm sure Zach did that, and that's clearly a heck of a program at Arkansas. But it's been proven time and again, you can accomplish your goals at East Carolina, and kind of transitioning a bit, from you choosing the Pirates. You referenced a couple other programs. I know you got some ACC and Big 12 interest.
Yeah, yep. It was yeah. I mean, it was a mix of pretty much everything. But yeah, I mean, when I started narrowing it down, it honestly came to a couple of those schools. Yeah.
Right. So I think you said you had heard from Pittsburgh, West Virginia, and then also the Virginia Tech Hokies. And given that you threw 75 innings essentially this year, have you just shut it down this summer, or are you playing somewhere?
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a huge jump. Um, now, yeah, we were just gonna rest. I mean, it was my first time starting. It was a long season, and it was my first time doing that. So, thought it was probably best to just shut down, um, just for my arm and just for my whole body's sake. But yeah, I mean, I'm just lifting right now, and then going to start throwing again in about 2 weeks, and then start slowly building up. And then when I get to school, and then kind of go from there.
Now, I mentioned in the open you're a Jersey kid. Are you a Phillies fan, or who's your MLB team?
Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan, but I mean, I went to school in Philly, and them and the Phillies were in the World Series and stuff. So I mean, kind of had to be a fake fan, but I'm a Yankees fan now. I've always been one.
Yep. One of the key contributors on the Phillies the last couple years. Now he's a Toronto Blue Jay, another East Carolina, first round draft pick in Jeff Hoffman.
Yep.
So the Pirates over the last decade or so, three first round draft picks, and a lot of success on the mound. But who were some of your favorite players? And you mentioned being a Yankees fan, so who were, be it a position player and or of course pitchers. Who were some of those guys that you've really admired and perhaps even patterned your game after?
Yeah. I mean, just from a position player standpoint, I was always the biggest Mike Trout fan. Growing up, I mean, he was kind of the first person from Jersey, to kind of to go up, and then obviously he was amazing those first 10 years before he started getting injured and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, he was my favorite player. I mean, he still is. I mean, just him being from Jersey. I mean, obviously he was committed to ECU too, which is funny. And then yeah, I mean, first rounder and everything, and then he went to the pros and was an absolute beast. So yeah, he was. I mean, he's always been my favorite player. And then just pitchers. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, obviously, so I love Garrett Cole. I mean, I mean, I went to Phillies games a bunch too. So I would see Nola and those guys throw. So I mean, I'm a big fan of them. So yeah, I mean, I would probably say Trout and then Cole are probably my two favorite.
Good recall there on Mike Trout being an ECU commit. That was actually under the previous coaching staff, but yeah, because you would have been fairly young at that time. So good recall there on Trout, and then also Mackenzie Gore with the Washington Nationals under Cliff Godwin. He was a ECU commit, and of course, I think taking second overall, and went to the Padres before becoming a Nat. But favorite baseball movies, and I think back to my childhood. Watching Major League, Field of Dreams. There's so many. What are some of your favorite baseball movies?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Major League fan. I like Major League. I mean, obviously, The Sandlot's great. I liked Moneyball as well. I don't know if you ever Trouble with the Curve. But yeah, I mean, those are probably some of my favorite. But I would probably say, maybe Field of Dreams was good too. But I think my favorite is probably Major League.
And have you seen Major League Two?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you see Major League Two, I mean, not a big role in the movie, more of an extra. But John Gast, former Pirate third baseman from the early '90s, and he was actually in Major League Two. He's from that area, and still lives not too far from Camden Yards, which was part of that movie. But final thing for you, and we'll wrap this up. We appreciate you being generous with your time, and that is, away from the baseball field. Of course, baseball takes up a lot of your time, but when you're not preparing to play or so forth, what are some of those things that you enjoy spending your time doing? Well, obviously at East Carolina, you're going to be only an hour from the beach, and then the mountains aren't too far away. What are some of your hobbies away from the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously liftings, but I mean that's what baseball. So, yeah, I mean, I love going to the beach. I mean, especially being from Jersey. I mean, the shore is an hour away from us. So I mean, going to the beach. I mean, at my previous school, I mean, we were 20 minutes from the city, so I mean, we would go to the games, stuff like that. So, I mean, I honestly just love like hanging out with my friends, going to the beach, playing some video games, um, literally just doing anything. Honestly, just having fun. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm a big beach guy. I try to go as much as I can, but I mean, obviously, I know it's an hour from the beach, so I'll probably be there very often if I can. Um, but yeah, I mean, just hanging out with friends, video games. I mean, I like playing basketball, just kind of doing stuff revolving around sports, throwing the football around, stuff like that. So, yeah, I probably say those are a couple of my hobbies that I do pretty often.
Pirate Nation, that is right-handed pitcher Frank Ciccone in the St. Joseph's transfer, Friday night starter in 2025. Very excited to have him as part of the East Carolina roster in 2026. Frank, as we wrap up the show, tell folks how they can follow you on social media, be it X or Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is just at Frank Ciccone, and then my Twitter is just at fciccone15.
Really enjoyed the conversation. Again, I appreciate the time, and I look forward to catching up with you. Once you get to Greenville. And Pirate Nation, be sure to like and subscribe. There you see at Jungle Tales Pod on YouTube, X, Instagram. We can also be found on Facebook. And if you want to go back and hear something, a very easy way to do so is by going to Spotify, where you can, you navigate every few seconds and hear something again. But we appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll talk to you soon here on Jungle Tales, a Pirate Baseball podcast. And as always, go Pirates.